Hello, welcome to Roadrunner Predictions. Let's talk some college basketball. We're still a couple days away from NBA, and we'll have to wait until that happens. We have, first game I'm going to do is Northwestern heading into Maryland. Consensus is obviously pretty heavy on Maryland, probably because Northwestern has been playing some awful games. They haven't even been able to cover against what would seem to be lower tier Big Ten teams. I like Northwestern today, plus 14 and a half heading into Maryland. Maryland's having problems closing games out with the bigger numbers. It's like once they kind of got the lead, they kind of put the recluse on and they seem to focus defensive heavy, which they should anyways because that's their suit. I think this Northwestern team is just talented enough to get inside that point to cover. Previous matchup they had, they lost by 10. I'm sorry, by 11. They lost to Maryland earlier in the season, 77-66. So that's 11 points. Then they're getting at home, so 12, 13, 14. The spread's actually right back where it should be, but I don't expect Maryland to come away with the win like this. I think they win by 10, so I think you're getting literally 4.5 free points on the Northwestern. So the over-under's at 133 if that seems to please you, but I don't know. I definitely am going to be on Northwestern. I'm not falling into what I think is not really a trap. I just think that it's just too much point value set for it. I'm definitely looking forward to my Creighton Blue Jays playing against Marquette today. Creighton's beat Marquette earlier this year, but Marquette's that team that can play. I don't know. When the matchup hit my head, I had the Jays losing, so I was like, oh no. I'm like, Marquette's probably gonna win. We beat them the first time. It's a good sign, but the second time, I don't think we might be as lucky. So I'm not making a pick on it, but I'm not taking the game actually, and that's usually not a good sign. Marquette's too good. Posted up in the box, and that's what Creighton struggles against, even though they're a shooting point team. So it's always just a weird matchup. And in most of those battles, the dog will come out ahead. This is the game I want to focus my attention on too. Is the Baylor Oklahoma game. I think it's the premier game of the day. We did end up going 1-0 yesterday and 1-0 prior, but I went 0-4 on the XFL. Like I just got slaughtered. So I'm not here to brag. I just can't believe it. I mean, I hit on the under. I said, "What? Take the unders? Just take the unders in all the games." So I'm not even gonna be like, "Well, I hit some of those." I don't care. Literally, just take every game except for Houston Roughnecks under, and you'll probably cover. That's how ridiculous it is. The spreads went from 53 to 46, and now let's see what they go. I bet you they go to 40, 42, I bet. So it's kind of settling in almost like the real NFL for spread-wise and over-and-under-wise. People aren't getting that breakouts in that league. That's not, I don't want to say it's a problem, but they're letting the teams play and the defense. There's been like some bad blocking in the backs and stuff, but I like how they're letting it play out. And as long as the kids aren't getting hurt and they're letting them play it out, and I'm liking that. So sorry to get so sidetracked there. Let's go ahead and number one Baylor hosting this unranked 11-1 at home Oklahoma team. The consensus is heavy on Baylor. Usually when it's even something this skewed, it's 77% on contest on covers.com. And OddsSharks, it's not as big, but it's still very, I think it's like 70%, but not 77%. So my whole thing with this is sometimes when it's the consensus is so bad, usually the people are almost right. But I'm actually going with Oklahoma here. I think that Oklahoma coming off of a horrible loss to KU, they lost 87-70, so that's 17 points. And they got dominated. And that's about how we thought that game would go. But you know what? We had the over, so we didn't even care. That was an easy cover. Now you're looking at this Baylor team, and if I have to go over or under on this one, I'm going over because I think the teams will, both teams, not just one team, will play better than normal. Baylor only shot for like 23% or 24% on threes against Oklahoma in their previous matchup, which they took that one away 61-57. Baylor averages like 35 from three, so there's a big deficit there, about 15% from threes. So 50% three playability to Baylor, and that's really scary. But there's something about this Oklahoma team. I actually got to see them play live. They are able to get in the way of that 3 point. And I think that's why Baylor struggled the first matchup. And now they play so well at home. I saw Creighton host Oklahoma, and we beat them by 10. But my favorite all-time CU game was Oklahoma like 4 or 5 years ago when they came to Omaha. That was so awesome. That they were annihilating us. They were ahead by like 20 or 30 points. We ended up coming back and winning. I think it was 28 points. So that was sweet. But this team has fight, and they're really good at coaching against this three. So I think Baylor's going to have to post up. And their numbers were about right inside the field. So I don't know. I think Oklahoma will come out and play a little bit better ball this time. The KU game, it wasn't a fluke. They were going to lose that bad. They were going to lose that bad. But for some reason, I think they have Baylor on their shot list. I think this is a trap game. It's so hard to take Oklahoma, even with that 11-1 home record. Against the spread at home, they're 5-7 though. So I don't know. If I had to go on the play, my play would be on the over. But my pick is actually going to be Oklahoma because I can't give you enough justification of why. So I'm taking Oklahoma plus 3.5. So thank you for watching. Happy betting.